Hello guys, Friday's 18 here. Um, Today we're going to be doing another devlog. This is number 3, I believe. I'm a little bit out of it. Been doing a lot of studying lately. I'm doing finals before college, and just tired and all that. So if I'm a little bit out of it, that's why. We got a lot to show off today. A lot of cool stuff. These so everything with the black background is a clan specific thing, but everything with the white background or something like that is a KKG, and all these are just elements. So I'm finally getting to the clan stuff, which is a lot of fun. Of course, a lot of this stuff does relate to clan stuff. So like wood for Senju, uh, Byakugan, Sharingan, Katsurigan, Bone, Smoke, all that stuff. But they're not exclusive. They can be argued they're KKGs. Ice is the last KKG I think I've worked on. So let's go over that real quick because it is pretty cool. Let's get some of these guys. So first off, what's the chances? All right. No way. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. So anyways, we got the ice mirror first off. As you can see, you teleport around, you do a bunch of different effects, and you do some damage each time you teleport. It's not a crazy amount of damage. It's like 2 damage every teleport, but that adds up to a decent amount. That's 5 hearts of damage by the end of the teleport sequence, so it's pretty good. Icy Hail is a really cool move, and I'm going to do that in a second. First, let's go over Icy Shards. It's not that cool. You just shoot some little projectiles out. Not that exciting. Let's do Ice Mirror again, though, at F5 this time. Alright, so we're not doing Ice Mirror. if the cooldown lowers, we'll go back to it. But here's Icy Hail. So cool. Basically what happens is a particle comes down, and then once it hits them, it does damage, and it does like a decent amount of damage. I think it's like 6 hearts or whatever. Ice is honestly pretty good. That's why I made this shard move not that great, is because the other 2 moves are absolutely fantastic. Let's see if we can get this guy this time. Yes, as you can see, teleport around, deal damage each time. That was kind of sucky because we got teleported to the wall, but just so you know, you don't get stuck in the wall while you're teleporting because it sends you back to your original position, or position of whatever you hit. So if I did hit this guy, it'd send me back at the end. But anyways, look how big the wrong thing. Look how big the range is on this though. It goes all the way from over there to over there. Anyways, I'm a big fan of ice. I like the effects. It's not the craziest thing I've done, but the effects just look pretty cool to me. Next, what we got in here? I think it's Zetsu. Zetsu, alright. Or, I guess Vaughn. So we got a bunch of interesting ones. Mayfly. So, you go into spectator mode for a minute. And, by the way, although, if you see a movie and you're like, wow, it's overpowered, it's probably a pretty high, like, shocker cost. I think this is, like, 120. Just because... I mean, it could be argued that it could be used for like mining and stuff, that's not really an argument. It can be used for mining and stuff, but I also feel like that kind of makes sense considering it's Zetsu who can teleport through shit. So I'm not that against it. You get the little timer down here. Yeah, I mean the cooldown's crazy long, but whatever's crazy long, but I feel like it just makes sense, and I'm really not against. I'm not against. By the way, you're gonna see a lot of stuff in the video, and you're gonna see like, wow, it's pretty overpowered, or wow, it's pretty underpowered. I got a beautiful team of testers, and I got a lot of people who want to be testers too, so they're going to be, of course, on the squad soon. And so it's just, I'm just putting stuff out there, and then people will get it fixed. I trust my testing team and stuff to go over it and go through anything that doesn't look right. So that, I might lower that to like 30 seconds or whatever. Next we got Vine Attack. Okay, that was a pretty bad location for Vine Attack, but it's pretty cool looking. I'll show you in a second. But first, let's do Ground Rising. That was pretty basic. They all have descriptions of what they actually do. This one, it sends out wood violently from the floor. Oh, that's rare, I think. But anyways, it sends out wood violently from the floor, causing explosions. Vine Attack, just super cool. It like shoots them in the air and does a decent amount of damage, and it plays that little like effect around them. You can see it. Whereas Ground Rising is literally just it plays a little effect in the middle of. I'm a big fan of Vine. I'll probably make it cooler later on. Right now it's not that great. So Shadow's interesting. All the moves except Shadow Strangle work better at nighttime. So this first move has a longer distance at nighttime. But anyways, you hit them with it, they have this little effect on them, and it means they're under your shadow. and you're both frozen in place. I did want to make something where it was like it went until you could toggle it on and off, but it took a live chakra while it was on. But I decided against that one. Shadow floor. Everybody around you gets caught in your shadow. Pretty self-explanatory. Not that crazy. The crazy part is it's. I tried to make it as accurate to the show as possible, and it kind of sucks in the show. It doesn't suck, but it does exactly what it does in the show, pretty much. It's just Shadow looks a lot cooler in the show because Shikamaru is awesome, but realistically, it's not that crazy. So let's get some of these guys. Do Shadow Floor, Alex Shadow Strangle. Basically, everyone who's in your shadow, either from Shadow Floor or Shadow Intimidation, or Imitation, sorry. And when you use Shadow Strangle, it does damage to them all. So if I was to do this, okay, you get it. But anyways, by the way, the upgrade for both of them. This one has longer range on the projectile you shoot out to hit your opponent with when it's nighttime. And this one, it goes like 10 blocks further. So we'd be able to hit those guys if it was nighttime right now. Anyways, this does a decent amount of damage. You probably didn't see it because I didn't one shot, which it might look like it doesn't do that much damage. It does like 6 hearts, which is it's not that bad. Joshin. I'm gonna explain this one even though I can't really show it off. This is a PvP only fruit, or not fruit, sorry, move. Basically, you have the scythe here. You're able to, when you hit someone with it, it'll set their name, which once again, can't really show off because it only works on players. Now, there will be 2 versions of this, and you'll be able to pick it when you get it. This is just the only version that's in the game right now. But there's going to be a PvP and PvE option. Then you got damage reflection. Basically, you can't move, but any damage you get taken gets reflected back like a lot, but not to whoever hits you, to whoever's hit with your sacrifice. So if this guy specifically is hit with my sacrifice and some dude named Steve pulls up on me, this guy takes all the damage. I also, yeah, apparently there's an effect for that. I forgot I did that. Sorry, some of the stuff it's like a day late, but you get this little red effect at your feet, kind of supposed to symbolize, you know, the thing. The circle. I'm probably going to make the circle later on. The effects and stuff are very temporary, and the icons are very, very temporary. And this one's self-stab. Basically, you stab yourself, and whoever had you hit this with, it does damage to them. So, can't really show off how cool it is, but I promise it's pretty neat. So Hoshigaki is pretty mid, I'll be honest, but Kurama and Fuma are definitely something to look out for. These things are awesome, and I love them very dearly. So first off, you got the Fuma Shuriken. May not seem that crazy. It only does like 2 hearts, which, whatever. But it only takes 10 chakra, which means it only has a 50 tick cooldown, which means less than 3 seconds. Pretty good. Next we have Curse Mandala. Oh man, this one's cool. So you shoot out this projectile, and if it hits them, that little thing, it freezes them, and that particle gets smaller and smaller around them, dealing more damage each time. So that's that one. It didn't really work out too well, did it? But this next one I have to be in survival mode for. I'm gonna wipe out all these guys using one move. Now, if you were confused about what just happened there, what's about to happen again. What's happening is the way the move works. So I don't know how to explain it easily. It's not complicated. It's hard for me to explain this one. So everything in your area at all times while you're using it. So it's not just like everyone in your area initially. You can see they're in the area right now. If I move out, then they're not gonna be in the area anymore. And if I move back in, they're back in the area. So it's just whoever's around you while you have this active, which is stopped being active, which is why the particles are fading. All those people, whatever damage you take is reflected to them, I think like 5-fold, 10-fold, something crazy. So if you take damage, everything around you takes a very decent multiplier of that damage. Very, very overpowered. Probably gonna be forced to nerf that one, but it's what it is right now. Hoshigaki. First move, you got Shark Sage. You get these cool little water effects, and you get a bunch of just generally good stuff. Another thing about this is if you're in water, you get Dolphin's Grace, water breathing, better strength, and better speed. So if you're in the water, it works better. It's called Sark Sage. Which, by the way, some of these aren't going to be like official moves or whatever, but they're just cool stuff I found on the forums. Like for example, Sark Sage isn't like an official thing, I don't think, but people just talk about how that's kind of what's going on. So I'm like, yeah, I mean that makes sense. It's cool. There's a lot of stuff like that where it's just like it's not 100% official, but it just is the general concept. Next we got Shark Bomb, which I'm actually going to use from a distance so you can see what it looks like. It's not that crazy. I'm going to increase how big that particle is, and I'll probably style it a little bit. I might do some modeling, but it is exactly what it advertises. A Shark Bomb with a pretty decent explosion range. And then Water Gun may not seem that crazy. May seem like the exact same as the Fuma Shuriken and Ice Thing. The only difference is this is a decent bit more damage. They all have their different, like all the little mini moves have their own little distinguishing features. And then lastly, this is the one I just made currently. It's pretty overpowered. So for those of you guys who don't know what the Kurama clan is, it's like this like vampire clan, and their genjutsu is so strong it's able to manifest into reality. I think that's really cool. So what I did was, first we got Wolfing. You see these like they're supposed to represent dogs. They come after them, and then when they bite, you know, obviously do a decent amount of damage. Now what you can't see from the perspective of the user, but everyone else is seeing, they're like blinded and they just see this like particle ball coming for them, and then it says like you hear barking in the distance in the middle of your screen, and then every like second it says bark 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 until it gets closer and closer and attacks you. May not seem so. Once again, there's a lot of these moves where it doesn't seem that cool right now, but it just, I promise it's cool. It just it takes like a different perspective or whatever, but I still like it. I mean, you can use it on this guy and see what it looks like. I don't know. I'm gonna do it. Next we got Black Sun. It's actually only a one person move. Use this guy. The idea here is that it puts like a little black sun above them, and it tells them in the chat that the sun's been manipulated. Okay, so once again, this is a lot to work with, in my opinion, the Kurama clan, because you have to make borderline genjutsu that aren't really genjutsu, but are kind of genjutsu. So this first one, it's like it casts the genjutsu like wolves that everyone sees and they attack because they manifest into reality. This one, it manifests a whole entire sun for the person, so they actually feel the burn effects of it. Then we got Black Hole. Not very exciting, I don't think. I actually haven't tested this one out. I just made it, and now I recorded this video, so let's see it. That's pretty cool. I like it. That's what I thought it was gonna do. I didn't have any confirmation. I could have just like crashed the game or something. But basically, what it does is it creates a black hole above them all, and then shoots them up at this guy, drops them down, and does like, I don't want to say a crazy amount of damage. I think it only like does like 6 damage, which is only like 3 hearts, maybe more, maybe less. That ballpark though, plus the fall damage though, so pretty good. I'm honestly a big fan of this clan. I like it. I think it looks pretty cool. It also has some decent range. And then, you know, obviously, I mean, you have 2 AoE moves, which both deal decent damage, and you have a stun move. I'd say I'm pretty decent with this one. It's not the craziest I've ever done, but I like it. I think the effects look pretty cool. But that's everything. Of course, there is some new stuff. Like you're gonna like, there's a lot of changes that are just gonna be happening through the videos I don't go over, like revisions and stuff. Like for example, let's not scoop. Let's see. Who called Boulder Throw? Yeah, so this got changed from an actual boulder to like a particle effect. If you're wondering why there's so many more particle effects in this mod, not models, it's because to me, models have a tendency of looking kind of out of place in Minecraft. I'm big on trying to make things as natural as possible for the Minecraft environment. Like I want to make it like as vanilla friendly as possible, which is why all the textures are only 16 by 16, because that's the natural texture of Minecraft. Like for example, a perfect way to put it is if I use crystal right here, get our crystal blade. These two things are the exact same like ratio size or resolution size, so it doesn't look that crazy in game. You know, I don't want to like have like some 64 by 64 art, because honestly it just doesn't look that nice to me. And by the way, the assets look terrible right now. They're gonna get a rehaul, But to me, something like this looks better than a more high resolution image, which may seem lazy. I promise it's kind of the opposite if I'm being real. But this makes it seem like it fits more into Minecraft, and to me, that's pretty worth it. That's how I prefer it. Um, if you're not interested in that, there's a lot of great mods that do things with high resolution images and more, whatever. But the issue is, it just looks out of place to me. And as for if like you think it's like a laziness thing, most of the high resolution images are just going on Google and searching up whatever you need .png, whereas this you actually have to go through the time to make the art, which this is not good art, but it's an extra step, and to me it makes it feel more personal. So when I do go through and revise all this stuff, it'll feel a bit more personal to me, and I hope it'll look better and vanilla in game. Once again, no hate to anyone who does it differently. Matthew Ox did it the high resolution way, and it looked amazing. It's just not what I'm into. So that's that. I don't think there's anything else that crazy. Yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm planning to keep doing cool stuff and releasing decent amount of content per day. And since summer is starting, after this week, I'm going to become a college student. I'm going to have a lot more free time. So expect, honestly, probably the same amount of frequency with these updates. Didn't update for like 8 months. That wasn't that great, but I'm back at it, and I'm back on the grind, and I'm hoping you all are enjoying everything. So yeah, I'll see you guys. Peace, and thank you for everyone who followed me through this whole process. I appreciate it. So see you.